Welcome to Taking Charge of Your Life, a 4-part video series. The first part is about how positive emotions lead to success. The second part is about having a vision for your life, because you can't take charge of your life unless you know what it is that you want. The third part is about having more self-belief, because you can only be as happy and successful as your self-belief allows you to be. And the fourth part is about small steps that create change in your life, that will create change in your life. And so all 4 of these parts go together, and today we're focusing on how positive emotion will make you more successful and more happy. And there's a workbook that goes with this series, and you can find the link to the workbook either above the video or beneath this video. And I strongly recommend that you download it, because it has exercises and links and things in the workbook that will help you with this 4-part series that will help you change your life. And the purpose of this series is to help you change your life, to take the steps you want, to take more charge of your life, to have more of what you want in your life, to make your dreams come true. So let's start with the first topic. Positive emotion is shown by the positive psychology research to have a double effect. First, you have the feeling that you get at the time, you know, the enjoyableness of the emotion itself. But secondly, you take more risks, you try new things, you experiment more. And therefore you're going to learn new skills. So the positive emotion not only generates the feeling at the time, but it also generates new skills that will be with you over a period of time. So for example, joy produces playfulness, and playfulness is an inspiration for learning. Interest in something means that you'll want to learn new things, or it'll produce curiosity that will help you learn new things. Love, or feeling of well-being, or feeling of connection will help you with your relationships. You'll take more risks with people. You'll probably say things to people or ask people questions that you might not have asked before. So you can see how positive emotion will increase your happiness and success. And therefore, let's be systematic about generating positive emotions in our life. Both for our work life and for our home life. If you're in a good mood, your home life goes a lot better, your personal life goes a lot better. If you're in a good mood, you'll be more emotionally intelligent at work, you'll be more, keep your ground more, be more integrated if other people get upset or people act out at work. So positive emotions are all round a good thing. Emotional intelligence about other people starts with emotional intelligence about ourselves. We can also think about, as we think about things that we can do to bring us more positive emotion, we can think about things that we can do on a daily basis, things that we might do several times a week, things that we can do at the weekend, things that we can do every few months, and things that we can do once a year. For me, for example, every day I meditate, I do a little bit of yoga, and I have some sort of intimate social contact with a friend, one of my flatmates, or with a good friend. A positive emotional connection with a friend is an important part of my daily practice. Twice a week I dance. 3 times a week, not on the days that I dance, 3 times a week I go to the gym, because all of those things help me feel good. At weekends I make sure I have really good social time, and about once a month I go out into nature, and it could be somewhere outside London. I'll go and take a walk in the morning, have lunch in a pub with a friend, and then another couple of hours in the afternoon. And then at least once a year I get to swim in the Mediterranean, on a week's holiday or a working holiday, as I do at Skyros and at Sitsa, and also Cortijo Romero in Spain. And I would love actually to go skiing once a year, and I need to think about who I can do that with and fitting that into my schedule. That would be something that I could do more of. But perhaps the most important thing is at the emotional level for me. Generating positive emotions can be done at the physical, emotional, mental and spiritual levels. And so let's first start with the physical. Now I'm suggesting that you write notes about these activities for yourself. What are the physical activities that you do that create well-being? Is it, yoga or the gym or dancing or making love if you're lucky, walking in the park? What are the physical activities that help you feel great? Are there some that you can do daily? For example, do you find that if you get a stroll every day, that helps? Medical research suggests that people have much greater well-being if they take 20 minutes of exercise per day, and also better health outcomes as well. Let's talk about the emotional things that you do. So the first is self-nourishment, taking care of yourself, spending time to sweet talk yourself. I was upset this morning when I got up about something. I spent some time just sitting with my feeling, letting myself feel it, giving myself permission to feel it, really giving myself some tenderness about it. So there's emotional self-nourishment. Do you take care of yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Do you look after yourself? Are you like, a positive adult or parent to the child that's within you? And so also we could talk about playfulness. Do you give enough time for playfulness in your life? I have a serious job, I'm a coach, I do deep coaching work with people, I go to the depth of their emotions, the sort of psychotherapeutic level as a part of the coaching process. I work with people's deepest wounds as well as their greatest joys and their success and, where they're going in the future and how to have a great life. And I need to play. And I can play at dance, I mess around with my friends, I find lots of opportunities to be a silly guy when I'm not working, hopefully when I'm not working anyway. So what are the things that you do for self-nourishment at an emotional level for yourself? Then there's relationships. Now you may be someone who's lucky to have a family where you can talk, where you connect, where you listen, where you support each other, where there's trust and all of those things. And that's great. If you have that, spend more time talking to your family, connecting emotionally with your family. For other people, they may get a better sense of emotional connection with their friends. Who are the people who love you, care about you, listen to you, believe in you, believe in your future? And of course there may be some friends that you have from school or from university or from your childhood, from family, who are not so good who don't really get you in that sort of way. And they're people that you may still want to keep as your friends, but the most important group of people in both the family and friends category are what I call tribe. People who understand who you are and who believe in you, who've got good listening skills, can listen to you, who don't give too much advice, but listen, and maybe having listened for a while give you advice. You've got basic counselling skills, you might say, and where you get intimacy, where you can talk about your deepest feelings, your deepest shames, the wounds, the things that are in your heart, and also your deepest passions. If supposing you're married and you see someone of the opposite sex who's really attractive, is there a best friend who you can say, wow, I had a little longing there for someone outside the marriage? Are there people that you can tell all of your secrets to? I would write down the names of those people and, do they support you? Do they understand you? Do they believe in you? And if that's the case, that's a really good place to spend more time. It's really important for us to have contact on a regular basis with people who are our tribe, who believe in us, see us and support us. In fact, in big organizations, they call this sponsorship, and they'll get senior people to play a mentoring role for more junior people, because that belief in people, that listening, really helps people grow and expand and develop quickly. So we've talked about physical, we've talked about emotional. Let's talk about mental. Do you get enough mental stimulation? Do you have enough interesting things going on in your life? Do you know your life calling? Do you know what your purpose is? What your gift to the world is? Do you know what your strengths are? Do you know your psychological resources well enough? Really having an understanding of what's great about you, what you love, what you're passionate about, what your strengths are, what your talents are, what your psychological resources are, how to access your psychological resources. All of that is an important part of emotional intelligence about self. So we can be mental, if you like, in understanding ourselves and understanding our selves so that we are emotionally intelligent about ourselves. If I know what I'm passionate about, if I know what I love, if I know what my talents are, then I can use all of those things more fully in my life. It's also good to have positive mental attitude about things like failure. So for example, are you good at, picking yourself up when you fail, or saying, well, I'm disappointed, but I have hope for the future? Do you take your mistakes, take your disappointments, take your failures, and think about how you could, rectify them in the future? Let's talk about spiritual. So we had body, emotion, mind, and spirit. And spiritual, let me say right from the outset, doesn't have to be religious. It could be religious, it could be non-denominational, but also it could be rational or scientific. I mean by spiritual having a wider sense of your place in the universe, some sense of awe about your place in the universe. The massive size of the cosmos. They talk about, the massive size of the universe, but now they think there are probably other universes. They talk about how probably it wasn't just a big bang 13.7 billion years ago, but it was a big bounce, that there was a contracting universe that came down to a singularity and bounced back out again. If you just look at the amazingness of life, of Mother Nature, of Gaia, of the living earth, of a tree, of a plant, of a flower, of a human being. If you just, from a scientific point of view, if you just look at all of this, I have awe. I would suspect that you have awe. And so having a sense of awe, of wonder at life itself is an important aspect of well-being. So, think about all of these different categories for yourself. In the workbook, there's a little questionnaire on all of these topics. And it suggests that, score each one. If you get no well-being, or if you haven't got any well-being from one of these categories in the questionnaire, you score it a 0. And if you're completely blissed out, you've got fantastic well-being from a particular category, then you're a 10. And probably most of the answers on your questionnaire will be somewhere between 1 and 9.8. I always want to leave some room for expansion. Actually, if you were a 9.8, I'd increase the scale to 12. Always have room for more possibility, for more depth, for more bliss, for more awe, for more positive emotion. Always have the possibility of that. And so, score yourself. Where are you strong? Where are you weak? Now, this may surprise you, because my suggestion is that you develop where you're already strong. You do more of what you're already good at. Because that's the place you'll get the easiest win. Or if you're really doing a lot of something, if you're already playing football 5 times a week, maybe your family are not going to be happy if you play football 6 times a week. I'm exaggerating, but take some of the ones that are in the middle ground, somewhere between, say, 5 and 7 or 4 and 7. Perhaps those can be developed. You can get more well-being from developing those. If there are ones that are noughts or 1s or 2, you may need support or help in developing them. Maybe it's just you say, actually, I never go to the gym, and actually it would be great for me to do it, and I've watched this video and now I'm going to do it. I've made a decision. That's great. But if there's something where you have resistance, where you fight, there's some place in yourself that's blocked or it's difficult, Don't worry about that for this exercise. Focus on the places where you could get more positive well-being. Actually, if you want to change places in your life where you're quite stuck, first step is to get more positive well-being or psychological resourcefulness. Psychological resourcefulness is the place to start if you want to change your life, not the big whip or the big stick. So work out where you could have more positive emotional well-being, because that will be a part of how you transform your life or change your life or take charge of your life or whatever it is that you want to do in your life. The positive well-being will really support you in this process. So that's really, the end of today's talk. Tomorrow's talk is going to be about having a vision for your life that is really worth having, and spending time imagining it and making a little movie in your mind about it and getting inspired and feeling excited about it. And by the way, you can have a vision for your life at any age. I always imagine that when I'm 90, I'll be saying, now I understand what it's all about. So that will be tomorrow. Then the next, or the third video in the series will be about self-belief, believing that you can have the future that you imagine, believing that your dreams can come true. And then the fourth video in the series is about small changes. Having done the previous three lessons, video classes, seminars, then the fourth one is about, okay, now what are some little things that you commit to that will then change your life? And we've got quite a number of categories in that area, some interesting material in the fourth seminar as well. I really recommend that you get the workbook and download it. And I'm Julian Russell, founder of the Life Talent Program. We have this annual program called the Life Talent Program, which is 20 days, 8 weekends and a 4-day block over a year about really transforming your life. We also have weekend workshops such as the Personal Transformation Intensive and Discover Your Life Calling coming up soon. Please text me, please email me, please message me, communicate with me, let me know what it is that you want. If you want to talk to me on the phone, you can go to my website and click a button and it'll take you to my calendar and you can put some time into my calendar. Great to talk to you today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the series of 4 online seminars, and I'd love to get your feedback. Take care and hope to talk to you soon.